All individuals feel voids, some more than others, as a consequence of experiences that they have in their life. And of course, feeling that void, that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of not fitting in is very uncomfortable. And unfortunately, some individuals resort to using alcohol or drugs as a way of getting rid of that uncomfortable feeling from the void.
The last time I used, I had a bottle of methadone in the hotel room, and I had crack cocaine, and I had a 40 ouncer of whiskey. And it just so happens that I chose the methadone as the quickest way to kill myself. So to me, it didn't have anything to do with the substance, right? It had everything to do with the way I was feeling. I was in the youth center, I think, like 4 times by the time I was 18, and I was always really lost as a kid, and I had abuse as a child by 6 different people. I was lonely. Like I had all the friends in the world. I was a popular kid. I was tough. Like I fought all the time. Like my brother was tough, so I wanted to be tough, and my old man was tough, so I wanted to be tough. I wanted to be tougher than both of them. So a lot of times coming home from school for me would be coming home to my brother and his friends, and they would beat on me all the time, and it was borderline stuff, like being held down, and like we'd all like throw darts at each other and stuff like that, and people would turn the lights off, and we'd be whipping pool balls back and forth, and it just seemed like me being the youngest person, I would be the brunt of the attention. I don't know exactly how to look at it, but I know that I turned into an animal, and I wanted to fight anybody and everybody. I used to watch my uncle. My uncle was a pro fighter, and he's a city councilor in Winnipeg here now. He's a good man, and I used to go watch him all the time. And like one of those kids with I would sit on the side of the ropes and just watch my uncle in awe and boxing, and I boxed for a little while, and I had some issues with a coach that nobody knew about. I didn't tell anybody. There was a guy named Donnie Lalonde, and he used to, way back, he used to have, when he was a pro fighter, and I was a kid then, but he used to have a slogan and jackets made up for a thing called No Excuse for Child Abuse. Donnie Lalonde was one of the first guys that I seen when I came walking back into the Pan Am Boxing Club, and I just broke down in tears because I've been carrying around this weight of being abused by a boxing coach my whole life. My dad was a really good man, very proud guy, and he was everything. He was tough. He was everything I wanted to be, but I seen him taken down by the bottle, and he was an everyday drinker, 2-3 packs of cigarettes a day, and I seen him taken down by a tiny little beer bottle like that. I didn't understand it, right? And I judged him for it. And it's very ironic that I became my dad and even worse. And eventually I just about died from alcoholism. I got married when I was like 21. When we found out we were having my son, and we got married. And the chase from my ex-wife was, I knew that the chase was over. I completely disconnected. And I was definitely not prepared to be a father at 21. I was still like a child myself, and and then all the abuse stuff that I dealt with as a child and stuff, I felt like a dirty person, and I just didn't even want to be nowhere around my kid, right? Things got so much worse after I got divorced, like big time worse. My dad died and he got a bunch of money, or my mom got a bunch of money from my dad's death. And then it was like the glamour part of Roland's life started, and I opened up this hair salon with 13 people working there, and all these women around and this and that, and I definitely didn't. I don't come from money, so I didn't know how to handle that kind of money, and you know what I mean. I had all these thousands of dollars around, and I didn't know what to do with that, but spend it. Losing everything and trying to repair my life, it just seemed like so much work to get back to where I was before, because I lost everything, eh? So trying to get my life back to where I was before just seemed so far off that I was never going to be able to achieve it. So I just kept using it, and I just figured that I was going to die that way.
Like, I used to sell crack, and about 7 years ago, I got a phone call from this girl, and she's like, I didn't know where she got my number from, so I was kind of weary about going there. And that's when I went to this slum part of town, and I went to this building, and I went up to the house, and she was asking me for some stuff, and I was like, are you a cop kind of thing? And I could hear something in another room, so I barged into that other room, and I seen Roland sitting there, and he was just, I've never seen anybody look so shitty in my life. And something came over me where I didn't give the girl anything, I didn't sell her anything, and then I started talking to Roland. I was like, buddy, man, you don't look so good.